So today I'm going to make kitchari. I've got some chopped up leeks, some celery, some sweet potato. I've got my rice. I'm actually going to make it with short grain brown rice. I've got 1 cup of mung dal, split mung dal, and half a cup of rice. So I've just cleaned that, soaked that. I've got some ghee, and I've got my spice blend, which I've ground down myself. So I'm going to use that. I'm also going to use some extra fennel seeds today, but I'm going to heat up the ghee first. Okay, my ghee is melted. I'm adding 1 teaspoon of fennel seeds. I'm going to toast those before adding my churner and then the leek. Just given some time for the fennel seeds to roast a little bit there in the ghee. Now I'm adding my churner, a heaped teaspoon of churner, and I'm going to give that a nice little stir. And then I'm going to add my leeks in a moment. I've just added my leeks and my celery and stirred it to coat it, and it smells amazing. I'm going to be adding some water so that can simmer a little bit and cook down before I then add. I'm going to add some mushroom because I really like the flavour. I really enjoy the flavour of leek and celery and mushroom together. With the spices, it just ends up really tasty. I've added some water. I've added the mushrooms. So I'm going to let that simmer down. I'm going to add the lid. I'm going to leave that for about 10 minutes. And then add the rice and the mung beans. That's been bubbling away nicely for around 10 minutes, so I'm going to add the rice and the lentils. I've added the split mung dal, which I get from Manor Springs. I find you don't need to soak these ones for it to cook really well. So I've added that in. I'm going to bring that to a boil and a simmer, and then I'm going to leave for 10 minutes before adding the sweet potato. Just to say, I've added some boiled water just to cover a little bit so that as it cooks, it will soak up the water. I've added the sweet potato and a little bit more water. We'll just let that cook away. The rice and the split mung bean dal has actually soaked up some of the water, so I added a little bit more. So I left that for a further 10 minutes in the pot. Look, that's cooked beautifully. The sweet potatoes cooked. I've embellished with some roasted pumpkin seeds. I've also got a bit of chopped fresh ginger, just sprinkling that on the top. A squeeze of lemon. So pretty much what we're aiming with the kitchari is to get the 6 tastes. So this represents the sour flavour. And I'm also going to garnish with some fresh coriander just to get those fresh herbs in. That looks yummy.